I've never been a great fan of castor oil, and not because of my own experience, but the generation before us was fed castor oil by their parents to clean their systems out and to detoxify them. And I've heard some horrible stories about how awful it tasted and how horrible it was. And then I decided that I need to follow one of my life rules, not to make a decision about anything until I have all the facts. So I went on my castor oil quest. So I got on the internet and typed in the benefits of castor oil. And you can spend days and days watching videos of the benefits of castor oil. Now, I found that most of the medical doctors said that there was no scientific proof that this will actually work, that it is approved by the FDA to consume, but it is not approved to rub on your skin. And I thought, well, if it's not going to harm me, and it's approved by the FDA to swallow, then I'm going to try it. And I started off by rubbing it on my stomach because my stomach can play up on me at times. And it worked. And all I was doing then was putting some on my hands. It's quite a thick oil. And the less organic it is, and the less refined it is, and the less cold pressed it is, the thicker it seems to be. But I just bought some at my local drugstore, and I put it on my hands and rubbed it up and made it all warm and pliable, and just rubbed it on my stomach. And then somebody said to me, try it in your belly button. So I'd go to sleep at night, and when I'd get into bed, I'd put a couple of drops into my belly button, and I'd wake up the next morning, and my stomach would work. And I started being impressed. Then I read that it could help with hair growth and hair loss. I started going through menopause. I started losing more hair than I normally do. So the one day I made a parting in my hair, and I noticed that my parting was much bigger than it used to be. And I'd noticed that my hair was just thinner than it used to be. Put castor oil in my hair. And I did that every Sunday for a month. I would take the castor oil, and I use a bottle that looks like this to put it in my hair. So it's got this little spout, and it makes it with a little lid. And it makes it much easier to put onto your scalp. And I'd rub it into my scalp and put it into my hair, pop my hair up onto the top of my head, and spend the rest of the day like that. And then I started noticing that at the change of season, after 3-4 weeks, that I always get a hair growth at the change of season. And then it sort of like sticks up like a dandelion. And I noticed that it happened. And then I noticed that there were these tiny little hairs that were growing on my forehead here. And then I noticed that there were littler hairs, smaller hairs, that were growing below those. It has definitely worked for thickening up my hair. Now, they say that it's brilliant for people with fine hair, which I have, because it creates a layer around the hair shaft, which makes it less likely to break. I started putting 1 or 2 drops in my night cream, rubbing it in and putting it on my face. And I noticed my skin improved. Then they said, try it for black circles. Now, this week has been hectic for me. My son's busy writing his final exams for the year. I'm trying to get my Christmas stock out, and the more I seem to think I'm on top of it, fortunately, the more people are buying, and I need to replace it. And then I'm thinking Christmas presents for daughter-in-laws, and so that I would find that I would start working, and the next minute I would look, it would be 12 o'clock, and I'd need to be up at 5 to get everybody ready for the rest of the day. So I was having minimal sleep, and I am a sleep person. I need to sleep for 8 hours, otherwise I get grouchy. And I looked at myself last night, and I had these big black rings under my eyes. Whew, can't be doing this. It looked terrible. I got the castor oil, and I just put it under my eyes, and I left it. And when I jumped into the shower, I washed it off. And when I tell you that my black rings have diminished by at least 70%, I am not telling you a word of a lie. The one day I was putting groceries away and I hit my knuckle on one of the shelves. And it was one of those when you hit yourself and you realize that you can speak 100 different languages. It was one of those where I hit myself and it was so painful that I actually couldn't talk. I was just sitting there going and trying to tell myself to breathe like I tell everybody else. And it swelled up and it was blue because I bruise easily on top of it all. And that night when I was lying in bed and I'd put my oil in my belly button, I just dipped my knuckle into the oil in my belly button. And I wish I'd taken a photograph because the next day it had a slight shadow on it. The swelling had gone down. The bruising had just disappeared. So not only is it rich in fatty acids, which moisturizes your skin, it's also an antifungal, an antibacterial, an anti-inflammatory. It sorts out congestion. It helps with lymph nodes. It helps with thyroid glands. It helps with constipation and digestion. It helps to detoxify your liver. It's like this little miracle oil that has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And finally, it's back in the spotlight where it deserves to be. So which brand of castor oil do I use? So I started using this one to begin with. And I really like the bottle because, as I say, it's got this little nozzle on it. So let me just make sure it's closed. So when I'm going to put it in my hair, I just run the nozzle through and rub it in, and there we have it. But then I discovered that castor oil in a plastic bottle is not what you should be using. You should be using castor oil in a colored glass bottle. Because it is so potent, it leaches the toxins and the poisons out of the plastic and holds it in the oil. Whereas in the glass bottle, it doesn't oxidize and it can't leach anything out of the glass. So this one I bought, this is for the South African viewers, I bought at my very favorite online shop in the world, Faithful to Nature, and it's lovely. It is cold pressed, organic castor oil. I've got very dry skin, so I will put moisturizer in my hand, body lotion in my hand, and then I'll put just like 2 drops of castor oil in, rub my hands together, and then lather it onto my skin. And it has made the world of difference. I used to constantly have sort of patches, especially on my arm, where the skin was dry, and my cheeks always been exceptionally dry. And on top of it, as a young woman, I abused my skin more than I should have. Blonde hair, blue-eyed people look far better with a tan than they do lily white, as God made them. But it doesn't do anything for your skin as you get older. Now, one of the other things that I think most South Africans and I believe Australians have is a wee bit of skin cancer. So I have a little spot on my chest here where the skin has gone rough and it sometimes gets a little bit ana. And I've started rubbing the castor oil on it and it is shrinking. Now, other things that castor oil has proclaimed to be able to help with is vision. There were some people that had put a couple of drops of castor oil in their eyes and claimed that the cataracts just suddenly disappeared. I found that by putting the castor oil underneath my eyes, I don't wake up with dry eye anymore. It's also apparently brilliant for improving your vision. Castor oil pack on your face. So the same as what I would do on my stomach. You get the little eye shields made out of cotton and hemp, and you just pour the castor oil on there, close your eyes, put it on, and lie down for about 20 minutes will normally do it. The most amazing thing about castor oil is it's almost immediate. I immediately started seeing an improvement in my skin. I immediately started seeing an improvement in my hair. And by the way, my hair doesn't fall out to the extent it used to. So how do we put castor oil on? How do we apply it? As I said earlier, you can either put it in your moisturizer, in your body lotion to put on your body. But if we're going to detoxify with it, you can buy it from Faithful to Nature. And I will find the international places that have the same products in them. So this is, I don't know if you can see it, a castor pad. And in the inside, it has got a cotton and the outside is hemp. Now mine is a bit wet because I used it last night, so I washed it. So I then transfer very briefly the castor oil into this bottle, and I just go up and down with the castor oil. They say 2 tablespoons. I don't think if you use a little bit more, it's going to do anything to you. I then put some on my hands, rub it in, and put it on the side of my body, sort of where, on my rib cage down to my hip bones. So where your liver is and some of your intestines are. And then I take this, and this is liver, kidney, and intestines. And I take this, it's got these little straps on it. And let's see if I can do this. And I put it on like that, and then wrap it around. Tie one side here, one side here, and obviously I put it on my skin, not over my dress. And there we go. I walk around like this. I can cook dinner like this. I can watch TV like this. I can function. It doesn't stop me from functioning. Now, I've also heard that you can get ones for your thyroid. So it is this, but much smaller. It goes across, you hold it around your neck. I've heard that people have taken castor oil and thickly applied it across their sinuses, and it helps with their congestion. It's just really, it is totally and utterly a miracle oil that we have all had in our lives, but we've all been terrified to use it because we've heard so many horrible stories about it. So if you are using either the liver detoxifier or the stomach detoxifier, I sometimes will take my castor oil pack and put it across my back, and then I lean up against a hot water bottle. And I just found that really, really helps with my stomach to start off with. I also put it on the front with the hot water bottle on. Helps immensely with my stomach, has helped immensely with my constipation, has helped immensely with my vision. I've been doing 2 things for my vision because I found that was one of the hardest things about growing older, is the fact that I started losing my vision. That every time I needed to do something, I had to look for the glasses everywhere. I found that my long distance vision has improved. I still need glasses for my short distance vision, but I got to the stage where I could see something out there, but all it was a blur of color. And then I had to wear bifocal glasses. And I found that I've stopped wearing my bifocal glasses because I can actually see things that are far away. That it has helped tremendously with the gallbladder, sort of any internal organ that you have. If you've got one of these packs and you put it on, it works like magic. Now, yesterday, while I was doing my final research for this video, I came across a woman who said that she had plantar fasciitis, and she had cured her plantar fasciitis. And the way she did it was she rubbed the castor oil on her foot and then put a sock on. So we are at the moment at the end of spring in sunny South Africa, but it is as hot as Hades. And there's no way I'm sleeping with a pair of socks on. So all I did last night, because I've noticed that sort of in the middle of my heel, it almost felt like the bone was pushing down. I know that's mind over matter, but that's what it felt like. And it aches, even when I don't have pressure on it. But when I stand up, it really hurts. And I thought, okay, well, let's try this, because I've had plantar fasciitis before, and it was not pleasant. But I thought, okay, well, let's just try this. And I put the oil on and went to sleep. I didn't put anything over it. I just put a good slathering of oil on and went to sleep. And when I woke up this morning, I actually was sort of going over what I needed to say. And I thought, oh, my foot isn't sore. So that is where the anti-inflammatory comes in. From A to Z, it is a brilliant product. And I am a little bit hesitant to use it as a laxative. I'm a little bit hesitant to put it in my mouth. But I am not hesitant at all to smear myself with it and reap the benefits. Okay, so what are the downsides to using castor oil? One major downside: test it on your skin first. And test, if you change your brand, test it on your skin first. So I told all my friends about this wonderful stuff that I'd found, and how all this internet hype that has been actually going on for quite a few years was totally and utterly true. And a friend of mine tried it, and she got this big red rash in her belly button that sort of came out and spread over her stomach. So, and that was just with the one brand. She tried another brand and she was fine. So before you put castor oil from head to toe like I do, just test it on your skin, see if there's any reaction. Just a tiny little drop on your skin, see if there's any reaction. If not, of course use it. But if you have a reaction, obviously either try another brand, or sadly you will not be able to use castor oil. So how often should you do this whole castor oil trick? I have found that putting it in my moisturizer, just 1 or 2 drops, I can do once a day. Putting it in my body lotion, 1 or 2 drops, I can do that every day. Apparently it's also really good for cellulite and crepey skin. So you massage it into wherever you've got the cellulite or crepey skin. It's something that I'm trying at the moment, so when my cellulite suddenly disappears, I will be sure to tell you. If you've enjoyed my video, give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification button. And if you tap it twice, you'll be notified with all my videos that come online. My next video is going to be all about how the world has lost its manners. And that is me for today. I'm going to go and dive into my nice cool pool because it's that hot. I actually envy you people who are in winter. But until we meet again, may you be blessed. Bye.